It's almost that time of year again, some of the most exciting months for sports. And with less than 20 games left in the regular season, the NBA playoffs are right around the corner. And the Combine has started earlier this week, so before you know it, we'll be glued to our TVs on Sunday morning to watch a little football. What a time to be alive. Welcome back to another episode of Primetime Sportz. I'm Justin DeWitt.
And I'm Jasmine Presley. March is underway, so let the madness begin. Break out those brackets because the countdown has started. With only 11 days left in the NCAA tournament, the Sun Belt season is almost over. Georgia State ends their season with 2 home games. And less than 24 hours ago, they dropped the first one.
Yes. Georgia State was able to clinch the second seed in the Sun Belt before this game, and that might have been the biggest reason to their lack of urgency. I mean, Georgia State dropped 3 of their last 4 games after that major loss against ULM. And these games, you could tell that they meant way more to Troy. You could tell that they were still out there fighting for that bye week in the conference. Troy's bread and butter is the 3-ball. I mean, they live and die by the 3. And last night, they were living their best life from beyond the arc. Right here we have forward Jordan Venardo, who gives Troy an early lead with his first 3 of 26 points and 8 rebounds. The first half was exactly what we thought it would be. I mean, a physical shootout. Georgia State's DeMarcus Simons moved into second place on the single-season scorer list, and he finished with 27 points. But he wasn't the only one getting off in the first half. Right here, we have senior guard Isaiah Williams, who drops a 3 to snatch the lead back for the Panthers. And right after that, we have Devin Mitchell, who added another 3 to tie the game right back up. He actually ended the game with 14 points. Georgia State went into the half up by 4, but the second half was a totally different story. 2 minutes in, we have freshman Javon Johnson and 1. That started a 14-3 run for the Trojans, and the next 8 minutes was just simply ugly for Georgia State. I mean, they couldn't get anything going on the offensive side of the ball. They were on straight lockdown with nowhere to go. On the other end, Venardo continued to get off. I mean, he did whatever he wanted. He got layups. He got dunks. Troy would go on to win this game in a lopsided victory, 83-70.
Justin, I was at that game, and that was a brutal loss, especially coming on your home court.
Yes.
These guys got to figure out what's going on before this tournament. I have reporter Brianna Dahlquist to give us more on this topic.
Georgia State Panthers took on Troy University today. Now, for fans, it may seem like a regular game, but for the Panthers, this was personal. Devin, first and foremost, tough loss tonight. How do you take this loss, and how does it motivate you going into the Sun Belt?
I just think we just got to key in on some things. It was definitely a tough loss. We didn't hit as many shots as we wanted to, but I think that we just learned from things tonight, and we're just going to use it going forward.
Right now, I'm just working on my shot. I have to hit every open shot, make sure I hit all my shots, and then just running the offense. The offense, everything has to click together, and I feel like when my position, I feel like I have to do that.
Tomorrow's game against South Alabama is the season finale here in the Sports Arena. You guys make sure you come out and support your Panthers. For Primetime Sportz, I'm Brianna Dahlquist.
Now, some will look at this situation and blow it off, think nothing of it. They say things like, oh, Georgia State's at the top of the Sun Belt. They already have the number 2 seed locked up. They got a bye week already. No need to take these last few games serious. But, I think it's something deeper with this situation. I mean, this isn't that same team we seen go on that 10-game win streak earlier this season. I mean, you can see the frustration on the court now, and you can cut the tension on the sidelines with a butter knife. Even head coach Ron Hunter thinks so. Check this out.
We haven't been the same since the second half of the Lafayette game. We just had, and I thought we've lost the edge. I think we haven't handled success real well, especially on the defensive end. And so, we're playing like, okay, I'm just trying to get to the tournament now. Forget the regular season. I can't get first place. We've seen that in practice. We've tried to change some things in practice, but the problem with that, you can't turn it on at all. One thing about this group, they don't like to lose, and so maybe that chippiness will come back. It's as I told them, you don't get many opportunities to play. My seniors, man, they got one more time to play in this building, and that's it. I've been in there when it's over with, and sometimes what happens with this, and I just told them about this, is that don't take this for granted because it could be taken away very soon with an injury, being a senior. The juniors in there are going to be seniors one day, and so you basically just gave a day away, and you gave a game away. Don't do that. That's that's a bad thing to do.
You know, although the men were not able to pull this one out, the Lady Panthers definitely represent. They were able to defend the third floor. Janissa Murphy and Kiara Henry combined for 50 points in an amazing effort to lead the Lady Panthers to an 85-78 victory over Troy. With that win, Georgia State will be at the 10th seed at next week's Sun Belt Championship tournament. The Panthers will play on Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time in New Orleans.
And moving along, the NFL Combine started earlier this weekend. Just like the Lady Panthers, former Georgia State defensive back Chandon Sullivan hopes his performance is good enough to advance him to the next level as well.
You know, the last time we talked about Sullivan, he was participating in the Reese's Senior Bowl, and now he'll be going to the NFL Combine as Georgia State's first defensive player. You know, I spoke with Chandon last season, and, you know, he exemplifies so much gratitude, and I can definitely see him at the next level. NFL experts are looking at him and saying that he will be the one that we should all look forward to seeing. And they're actually calling him the Dark Horse. Good luck to you, Sullivan.
Very big deal.
In his final season at Georgia State, he put on some amazing performances at the stadium. But guess what? Things just got a little bit more exciting at that stadium. The MEAC Swag Challenge will take place in Atlanta for the next 3 years. And guess what stadium? At Georgia State Stadium. We will be the host of the game, and the first game will be against North Carolina Central and Prairie View A&M. The MEAC Commissioner, Dr. Dennis Thomas, says this will be an exciting game. Kickoff is set for September 2nd. Will you be there? Because I will for sure be there.
Oh, no, I definitely will be there. I actually spent my first 2 years at Savannah State at HBCU, and I still love my HBCU. It would be great to see them play once again at Georgia State Stadium. I mean, I'm glad to see that Georgia State is still expanding.
Yeah, for sure. And that's not the only way they're expanding. ESPN extends its contract with the Sun Belt to the 2028 season. This is the longest multimedia rights contract in conference history. Their ESPN relationship stemmed back to 1979. Can you believe that was almost 50 years ago? What a great deal.
Yes, definitely. And coming up this weekend, multiple GSU teams will be defending their home. Along with the men's basketball team, Georgia State softball team will also be playing. GSU will host 5 games this weekend as a part of the annual I-75 Challenge, co-hosted by Georgia State, Georgia Tech, and Kennesaw State. The Lady Panthers currently sit 1 game behind 500, and coming off a 2-2 weekend at the Bama Bash, Georgia State is looking to remain undefeated on their home field.
You know, I had a chance to go to the first home game against Georgia Tech, and the team chemistry, they work so well together.
Yes,
they have a lot of returners, so I don't think this weekend will be a challenge at all for the girls. If you happen to miss any upcoming games this weekend, just follow us on our Twitter at Primetime Sportz with a Z, and we'll have you updated on all the news for you.
And also, subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can stay up to date with all your Georgia State sports news. We'll be gone for the next 2 weeks as midterms and spring break approaches, but until next time, stay blessed.